But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism, it's about patriarchy, and about abortion. The reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim, and that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so...
She wasn't simply escorted out. According to a shocking leak from inside the Evita revival, Rachel Zegler was allegedly branded a nightmare to work with by the show's own director. And this isn't just internet gossip or fan speculation. We're talking about real internal memos, private notes, and direct messages from the production team who worked with her every day. And those messages, absolutely brutal.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
One internal note reportedly reads, resists all direction, undermines team leadership, constantly disrupts rehearsal flow. Another states, she believes this production revolves around her. It doesn't. The leak came out of nowhere, dropped, anonymously, and was verified by multiple insiders within hours. Just like that, what was already a messy public scandal spiraled into something much darker. A full-blown implosion behind the scenes of one of the most anticipated West End productions in recent memory. This wasn't how it was supposed to go.
And if you've ever seen Evita, it is a challenging part to play, and I don't think she has the temerity, the stamina, you pick a word here, in order to pull it off going, every single day that the theater is open.
When Rachel Zegler was cast as Eva Peron, it was meant to be her triumphant comeback, a chance to silence the critics, redefine her public image, and prove she could handle a legacy role without controversy. Instead, things unraveled almost immediately. Rehearsal walkouts, mounting backstage tension, and then the now infamous viral incident where she was allegedly escorted out by security in front of the entire cast. At the time, fans were left wondering, was it really that bad? Did she quit? Or was she forced out? Now, those questions are finally being answered. And the truth? It's nothing short of brutal.
Studios really need to go back to what they originally did, which was tell your stars to shut up and not say things, because no one is paying to hear your stars say offensive things off the screen.
These notes were never meant to see the light of day. Private messages shared quietly among the production team. Whispers intended to stay behind closed doors. But someone leaked them. Someone wanted the world to see what really happened backstage. And now, with the truth spilling out, Rachel Zegler isn't just trending. She's being cast as the villain in what was supposed to be her redemption arc. So, how did it come to this? And what exactly was in the director's notes that was so damning? Producers allegedly considered scrapping the entire show? Let's rewind the chaos and uncover how a dream role spiraled into a full-blown disaster.
Exclusive. Branding experts warn that Rachel Zegler Backlash could ruin Disney's big-budget Snow White remake and predict executives will be having crisis talks in order to win back fans ahead of the 2024 release. Rachel Zegler has been running amok and talking all about this new role that she will be playing as Snow White and how it has been reimagined.
It's no longer 1937.
And people are pissed, right? Because she's playing this iconic role and she's talking about how the movie is dated.
The cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated.
It needs to be redone. Snow White is not going to be
saved by the prince.
And she's in fact going to be a girl boss feminist who don't need no man.
She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
I don't think Disney anticipated that it really has a deep and strong emotional place in their childhoods and throughout their lives. And maybe that film from 1937 did not need to be reimagined.
It all began with a spotlight and a promise. When the Evita West End revival was announced and Rachel Zegler unveiled as the new Eva Peron, the buzz was immediate and deafening. This wasn't just casting, it was a statement. A bold, modern move. A young Latina star, fresh off high-profile roles in West Side Story and Disney's Snow White, stepping into one of the most iconic roles in musical theater history. The headlines called it daring. Fans called it divisive. But the industry was watching very closely.
And then, because, you seem to be dominating the world of musicals, you're doing Evita in London, right?
Big Andrew Lloyd Webber fan right over there.
Is that your dad whistling?
Yeah. You guys see Stanley Tucci back there?
That'll be fun, huh?
It's gonna be the best time. It's my West End debut. I'm so excited.
You've done a lot of Broadway.
Yeah, well, I did Shakespeare for 20 weeks. I'm coming off of that right now.
20 weeks of Shakespeare.
That's a lot.
Do they say like the audiences in England are different than the American audience?
I heard they're more reserved, and I certainly didn't have a very reserved experience on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were in a very, an 800-seat theater in the round, so you really are this close to your audience at times. And I'm with the biggest heartthrob in the...
For Rachel, this was meant to be the turning point. After a string of public missteps, from awkward press interviews to polarizing takes on beloved roles, Evita was her chance to hit reset. No CGI fairy tales, no TikTok controversies. Just her, the spotlight, and a script that had already proven itself timeless. But almost as soon as rehearsals began, the cracks started to show.
But it's also really important to me that I share with you not only the really good, exciting moments, but also like the little blips where I just don't feel great. I think that's really important that you see me as a human being, because I think a lot of people don't. So, I don't know. I want that disclaimer out.
Reports began to trickle out. Rachel was allegedly showing up late to rehearsals, pushing back on the choreographer, and clashing with the vocal coach. At first, it seemed like typical celebrity friction. Nothing out of the ordinary for a production of this scale. But then, the whispers turned darker. Rumors of real conflict surfaced. Heated arguments, slammed doors, cast members leaving early, quiet complaints about a toxic atmosphere behind the scenes. And then came the meltdown.
So I decided to walk to this studio because it's really pretty out. It's only like a 15-minute walk. I haven't been out to walk in a warm place in a really long time, so it kind of feels just like wrong, and I feel like I'm forgetting everything that I know.
It happened during what was supposed to be a closed-door rehearsal. One source claimed Rachel refused to perform a newly choreographed scene. Another said she shouted at the director in front of the entire cast. Rehearsals were halted, security was called, and Rachel, the face of the production, was escorted off the stage. Not long after, the internet caught fire. A grainy, low-quality video surfaced from inside the theater, showing a different woman standing center stage, singing the iconic lines from Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Her face was mostly obscured, but that didn't matter. Speculation exploded. Rachel had been replaced. Silently, quietly, without a single word from the production team. Fans flooded TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit with theories. Who was the new actress? Was Rachel fired? Why wasn't anyone saying anything? And then, silence. No statement from Rachel. No explanation from the producers. The show's social media accounts went dark. Until now. Because these newly leaked notes, allegedly written by the Evita director himself, confirm what fans had only been able to speculate. Rachel didn't leave on her own terms. She was pushed out. And the real story, behind that decision, it's even more explosive than anyone imagined.
I'm like so ready to just throw my phone away. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen. If you have any opinions, I don't want to.
The leak didn't come from a fan. It didn't come from a tabloid. It came, allegedly, from inside the production itself. And what it revealed was enough to send the internet into a full-blown frenzy. It started with a single screenshot, posted anonymously in a locked industry Discord, then reposted to Reddit and picked up by a few niche theater blogs. The image showed what appeared to be a page of typed notes, dated and labeled Week 3 Rehearsal, Director Summary. The very first bullet point: Zegler remains combative in all creative discussions, refuses to take direction, demands revisions mid-rehearsal without prior approval. But it didn't stop there. The next lines allegedly described her as isolated from the ensemble, openly critical of co-stars during blocking, and at odds with both the choreographer and the vocal director. One chilling line read, "Her presence on stage is magnetic. Her presence backstage is toxic." And then came the quote that made the post go viral. "We're building a musical, not a kingdom, but Rachel thinks she's royalty." The post exploded. Dozens of users, including self-identified theater staff, claimed the leak was legitimate. One wrote, I've seen these reports before. They're circulated internally for production review. Another noted the formatting and language matched internal memos used in other West End shows. Then, a second screenshot appeared, this time from what seemed to be a WhatsApp group chat between production leads. Producer A: "This isn't sustainable. If she doesn't adjust, we move forward without her." Producer B: "Director already prepping the understudy. She's done." While the messages haven't been officially confirmed, entertainment insiders, including a well-known Broadway blogger, said the tone and structure were consistent with crisis meetings held during out-of-control rehearsals. Fans went into detective mode. They zoomed in on fonts, analyzed timestamps, and even dissected the grammar, comparing it to known communications from West End productions. But the deeper they dug, the clearer one thing became. This wasn't just one disgruntled director. According to an anonymous cast member, the notes were internal documents, shared only with senior staff, meant for internal coordination, not public consumption. So, why leak them? Some say it was a cry for help, a warning sign from someone inside a sinking production. Others believe it was retaliation, that Rachel's behavior had burned so many bridges, someone decided to make sure she couldn't control the narrative. Whatever the motive, the result was explosive. The notes painted a damning picture, not just of a difficult star, but of a production unraveling from within. A lead who couldn't be reined in, a team that was losing control, and a slow, steady descent from creative friction to outright chaos. And just when it seemed like the director was the only one speaking through these leaks, more voices joined in. Because he wasn't the only one keeping notes. Within hours of the memo surfacing, new posts began to appear. Anonymous sources, private forums, deleted threads, and what they described matched the memos line for line. An alleged assistant choreographer wrote, "She challenged every sequence, refused to hit marks, called the staging boring, said she'd rather improv it on the night." A crew member claimed Rachel once stopped an entire rehearsal mid-song to argue over costume design, reportedly saying, "I look like a school teacher, not a revolution." A wardrobe assistant said she demanded constant refittings, rejected fabrics, and sent back a dozen outfit revisions in 1 week, delaying ensemble fittings by nearly 2 weeks. One cast member wrote that Rachel had started giving notes to other actors. "She's not the director, but she acted like it. She'd stop people after scenes and tell them to change their delivery in front of the actual director." Some ensemble actors even asked to be moved to the background just to avoid sharing stage time with her. And that infamous security incident? According to one anonymous comment, it wasn't a simple argument. It was a full breakdown. Screaming, crying, cast members walking out, and yes, security wasn't a formality, it was a necessity. With every new leak, the picture sharpened. Not a few isolated complaints, but a pattern. A cast and crew under pressure. A lead actress reportedly spiraling. A production barely holding itself together. And yet, one voice remains missing, Rachel's. For someone who's never shied away from speaking her mind, Rachel Zegler's silence is deafening. No tweets, no statements, no cryptic emojis, just a single black and white filtered Instagram photo posted one day before the first rehearsal clip leaked, captioned, "Sometimes you outgrow the rooms you were never meant to shrink into." Since then, nothing. No mention of Evita, no rehearsal shots, no shoutouts to co-stars. Even her profile bio, once proudly displaying Eva Peron, is gone. Insiders say this blackout is strategic, that she's been advised by legal counsel to lay low. Others believe she's regrouping, planning a PR pivot, a tell-all, or a carefully crafted comeback. But the silence is creating a vacuum, and in the internet age, silence feels like guilt. If the notes were fake, wouldn't she deny them? If the stories were exaggerated, wouldn't she push back, like she has before? Instead, nothing. And that nothing is growing louder by the hour. Fans are split. On one side, defenders say she's being scapegoated, punished for being outspoken in an industry that punishes women for refusing to stay quiet. A viral TikTok with over 600,000 views claimed, "You don't hate her, you hate that she doesn't. Need your approval." But on the other side, the backlash is brutal. Reddit threads are connecting dots from her Snow White press tour to this collapse, suggesting a long-standing pattern of ego and entitlement. Tweets are resurfacing her most controversial sound bites. One viral post simply read, "From Disney's disaster to theater's nightmare, Rachel Zegler is speedrunning the fastest fall from grace we've seen in years." Comment sections are turning harsh. Some call for her to take a break. Others wonder if she's been quietly blacklisted. Even those who were once neutral are now picking sides, and the tide isn't turning in her favor. Because in the court of public opinion, silence isn't strategy, it's surrender. And while fans fight, leaks continue, and rumors swirl, the biggest question remains: where does Rachel Zegler go from here? This wasn't just a stage role, it was a career-defining opportunity. In theater, reputation travels fast. Words like combative, difficult, or disruptive don't just disappear. They follow you into auditions, meetings, contracts. And right now, those words are sticking. But there's still another path. If Rachel speaks, if she tells her side of the story, owns the chaos, and offers transparency, there's a chance for redemption. Her fans are waiting, but that window is closing fast because the internet doesn't pause. It doesn't forgive slowly. And every hour she stays silent, the leaks speak louder. And they may not be done. Sources say there's more footage. An actual video of the final rehearsal, not a blurry TikTok. A full stage recording allegedly from the tech booth. If that leaks, and it confirms what the memos suggest, this story will explode all over again. There are also whispers of legal moves. A cease and desist letter may already be in circulation. If true, it signals just how seriously her team is taking the fallout. But even if they stop the leaks, the damage may already be done. Because this isn't just a PR crisis anymore, it's a case study in how fast a narrative can turn, and how hard it is to stop once it does. Rachel Zegler walked into Evita with the world watching. Now, the same spotlight that once promised her a career-defining moment is exposing something very different. So, what happens next? Will she return? Will the footage leak? Will someone else take center stage for good? Whatever happens, this story isn't over, not even close. So if you want to see where it goes next, subscribe, turn on notifications, stay tuned, because the next leak might just blow this whole thing wide open, wide open.